Commander, we have arrived at Jump Station. Next deploy. Greetings, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the famous Northwind Highlanders. To begin with, the Northwind Highlanders are among the largest and longest lived and most respected mercenary commands of all time. A storied unit with roots of their history in the ancient Terran nation of Scotland. Founding. The Northwind Highlanders unit was founded in 2362 by Clan Stewart, a group of Scots that included the last vestiges of Scotland's military. The Highlanders colonized the planet of Northwind, largely due to the agreeable climate. In 2362, containing the last members of the families that served in the original Scottish regiments on Terra, lineage tracking back centuries. The unit was born with the forming of the 1st Canary Highlanders. The regiment was a success, leading in the formation of the 2nd Canary Highlanders in 2369 and McCormick's Fusiliers in 2377. Now I'm going to give you a brief history of them. For the Star League era, the Highlanders achieved fame far and wide through human space even before the Star League was formed. Later, they were one of the League's units more respected by the LDF. And the Royal Black Watch members who protected the First Lord were mainly recruited from the best Highlanders. After the Watch was destroyed in the American Civil War, some surviving members hid between the Highlanders, keeping the unit's tradition alive. The Succession Wars. Through the centuries, the Highlanders earned a reputation as an elite unit with high standards and morals that are not for sale. But even before Operation Exodus, the Highlanders regiments had grown apart from Northwind clan elders and accepted a contract with the Capellan Confederation, in what was essentially an exclusive contract. When the Federated Sons invaded Northwind and destroyed 2 Highlander regiments recently founded, the Highlanders regiments accepted it with stoicism, and during the Second Succession Wars served House Leo with honor and loyalty, as when the 2nd Canary spent 40 years hunting down every member of Gladstone's Gladiators, a mercenary command that had breached a contract with the Confederation, or when the 1st Canary faced down and defeated Wolf's Dragoon's Zeta Battalion. The situation changed, however, when Prince Hanstavian of the Federated Sons decided to invade Capellan Confederation in what would become known as the 4th Succession War. A turning point in the Highlanders' history was when Davian contacted them and promised them a home on their ancestral homeworld Northwind, and they accepted, signing the Northwind Agreement. The vast majority of the Highlanders chose to abandon the Capellan Confederation and took up station on Northwind. Some Highlanders chose to stay, however, creating rifts in some families. The Highlanders ably served the Federated Commonwealth, including service along the clan front. The clan invasion and the Fedcom Civil War eras. Another turning point occurred in 3057 when Chancellor Sun Tzu Liao sent Lauren Jaffrey, a death commando whose grandfather was a Highlander, who remained in the Confederation, to Northwind to offer the Highlanders their independence. Coinciding with Merrick Liao invasion, the Highlanders were tied up as they fought in a minor civil war, then debated whether or not to accept the Chancellor's proposal. Colonel William MacLeod, the ranking Highlander on the planet, was able to reunite his troops, and ultimately they chose to fight for their independence, and with the arrival of Sterling Fusiliers, sent the Lyrian 3rd Royal Guards packing. Though Jaffrey's mission was supposedly to destroy the Highlanders for the betrayal of Sun Tzu's grandfather, Liao seemed content to have deprived the Federated Commonwealth of them and accepted the Death Commando's defection to the Highlanders with nary a second thought. Jaffrey proved his loyalty to the Highlanders soon enough in a raid against Clan Smoke Jaguar. In the aftermath of his operation, Jaffrey was put in command of the Northwind Hussars, a new unit formed specifically to counter clan tactics. Interesting, the same concept had been proposed much earlier in the Highlanders by Jeremiah Rose, who was rebuffed due to the objections of his own father. In 3059, the Highlanders contributed forces to Task Force Serpent, a Star League force sent to destroy Clan Smoke Jaguar on the home world of Huntress. In 3066, the Highlanders joined Jamie Wolf and Wolf Sagoons in the Allied Mercenary Command, an alliance dedicated to stopping World Blake expansion in the Chaos March. Of course, as you might have guessed, Jihad. The sudden consecutive deaths of 4 clan elders forced the Highlanders to activate escape clauses in their contracts to return to Northwind, so they couldn't participate in emergency elections. The Ward of Blake seized the opportunity to blockade the system on 15th of December 3067 and keep all of the Highlander regiments isolated on Northwind. Later in the Jihad, when Ward of Blake debuted a new version of the Crab Battlemech, it was speculated by many that the Corsica weaponry plant on Northwind had been captured by the Blakeists. Northwind was liberated on the 8th of December 3077 after an allied coalition force expected a battle, but instead found no Blakeist presence in the system. The population of Northwood claimed to believe that the Ward of Blake had an impenetrable blockade over the system. All of the local aerospace assets were missing, and the local satellite communications network had been destroyed. The planetary HPG had also been destroyed, but the Highlanders were otherwise intact after 10 years of isolation. The Highlanders later joined the coalition of forces as part of Operation Scour, assigned to the Cornus Combined Front. The Highlanders mopped up resistance on Darien after the Ghost Bears tore through the defenders. Though many were unsure of their loyalty, the Highlanders joined the assault on Terra, assigned to take Sydney. The combat drop went awry, and the Sydney forces took serious losses. The 7th and 26th Divisions fought the mercenaries for every centimeter of land. Oh boy, the early Republic. By 3081, the Northwind Highlanders' program to rebuild was well advanced. The factories on Northwind assisted in bringing the strength of the Highlanders up quickly, and the Highlanders had already recruited enough replacements to man all of their equipment. The few dispossessed within the Highlanders' ranks were used to teach within the Northwind Military Academy on the key subjects of combined arms warfare and what limited defenses existed for protection against weapons of mass destruction. The view among the Highlanders was that the nascent Republic Armed Forces may present a viable means to ensure the Northwind remained safe in the future, and it was widely anticipated the Highlanders would join the Republic of the Spear. When the Northwind Highlanders officially joined the Republic Armed Forces through negotiations, the entire brigade would end up being absorbed and mixed in with newborn regiments of the Republic, with the exception of the 1st Canary. The 1st Canary would allow to soldier on as continuing legacy of the Northwind Highlanders history. 4 of the regiments would fight in the Republic's first military action, Operation Golden Dawn, where they would fight the Free Worlds League and be later absorbed into the Republic auxiliaries as they became too damaged to function on their own. Elements of the Highlanders would be noted later becoming the 9th and 10th Hastari Sentinels. The 1st Canary's rebuilding process will be hampered for years due to actions taken during Operation Golden Dawn, where one of its battalions will be used to rebuild the 3rd Republic auxiliaries. In the early years of the Republic, after the brigade was reduced to the 1st Canary, the regiment served as a garrison force defending the Northwind Military Academy. As time went on, the Highlanders' last regiment would soon deploy off-world in a new role as a troubleshooting force for the Republic. The Blackout and the Chaos of the Blackout. By 3132, the Highlanders' leader, Countess Tara Campbell, prefect of Prefecture 3, had taken charge of the entire brigade. With the crash of the HPG network, the Northwind Highlanders came to be perhaps one of the only Republic-loyal military forces left to ward off rebellion and invasions, including Campbell's former mentor and predecessor, Katana Tormak, leading her own splinter group to for House Kurita. Campbell dispatched and dispersed the 1st Canary across Prefecture 3 to quell rebellions and uprisings. To mitigate thinning her lone regiment, Campbell put on a call to arms to all loyal Republicans to aid her efforts fighting threats to the nation. In doing so, the Northwind Highlanders once again became a multi-regimental brigade and gained 2 additional regiments of troops, the Northwind Fusiliers and Republic Guards. The new brigade was made up of memorial groups of the Northwind Highlanders' past regiments and volunteers from across the Republic and beyond. Still, coverage ran thin, trying to put off the Republic's troubles. In 31-33, over the course of 9 months, elements of the Highlanders would face multiple invasions of Northwind by the Steel Wolves, which left Northwind with a considerable amount of damage. Despite this, Campbell redeployed the Northwind Highlanders to search for the Steel Wolves. By April, intelligence reports led the regiment to Terra, where they would face off and repel a clan force that had aided with the aid of the 10th Princip Guards. In addition, the Highlanders sent a detachment of troops to Iranian to oppose Branson's raiders on the world, but after 2 weeks of fighting, they were ordered to leave. Prefect Campbell became a media darling and turned down a position as paladin after her successful defense of Terra. The Highlanders were used within the Republic as a sort of troubleshooting unit, constantly heading to hotspots. 31-34 saw them garrisoning Attics and Small World in addition to their home world. Okay, I had to stop there for a second to catch my breath. Okay, within 2 months of repelling the Steel Wolves, the Northwind Highlanders were called to Skye, where they would end up mounting defenses against Clans Jade Falcon's invasion of Prefecture 9, which would lead to the Highlanders being allied with the remaining Prefecture forces and splinter groups, including the Stormhammers and Steel Wolves. The Jade Falcon's expedition would ultimately succeed in taking Skye in the second battle. Absorption of the Highlanders. The 1st Canary was within Prefecture 10 when the fortress walls went up on October 31-35. The RAF was ordered to organize its combat units within Prefecture 10, including the 1st Canary, into other newly raised line regiments. This did not sit well with the people of Northwind, and to appease the population of the newly formed 12 Hassius Sentinels would be raised with a large percent of soldiers who had ancestral links to the Highlanders regiments. The newly formed regiment maintained a close relationship with the Northwind Military Academy, rotating officers as instructors to the school and exercising the cadets as part of their training. On Terra. After defeating the Capellan invasion, the Highlanders, or at least part of them, traveled to return to Terra, along with Terra Campbell, helping defend the planet against the invasion of the Clan Wolf and Clan Jade Falcons in Europe, mainly against the last ones, until the Wolf Khan, Alaric Ward, attracted them to his ancestral lands of Scotland. Despite the Highlanders' defeat by Ward, the Wolf forces surrounded the Highlanders. Without alternative, Terra surrendered to Ward, accepting to become his bondman. In exchange, the Highlanders stay out of the fight until the Republic's defeat and surrender when they return to Northwind. And with that, you have an abbreviated history of the Northwind Highlanders. On a side note, I also have, as you've been watching this video, information on the Northwind Highlanders and the regiments that were served at one point or other with them, listed, and you've been looking at them the entire time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be doing another one soon of another planet and taking us out to the periphery. Thank you much. You have a good day.